Here with King Mo inside the Mayweather boxing gym. Hey Mo, before we get started on the other stuff, the one thing we never talked about, I wanted to hear about your thoughts on your brother. He fought in April. I guess most people don't really know that, but Attila, your brother, made a debut. You were there. What's it like having a brother fight?
Really, it's cool. You know, he's a basketball player. He started training 5 months before he fought, and I guess he's just doing it to see what, just to have fun. And he's training out there in Dallas Octagon in Dallas, Texas, and he trains a little bit with Team Takedown. My boy Stephen Wright, Muay Thai coach, and he just having fun trying to learn. So, I don't know what he's planning on doing, but I know he's gonna fight again October 11th, and then we're just gonna go from there and see what he does.
How do you think his talents are? I mean, you learn a lot from you beat up on him growing up, or what?
Nah, I really didn't. He was playing basketball, you know what I'm saying? So every weekend he'd be at a basketball tournament, I'd be at a wrestling tournament. So I didn't really beat up on him. I did here and there, but I didn't really work on him with no wrestling. Right. And granted, he had pretty good takedowns. I never tied him no takedowns either.
Were you surprised that he decided to go into fighting?
Yeah, yeah, because I told him, at least box, do something, because he could have took basketball farther than he could have, but I think he got burned out on it because he'd been doing it for so long, and then he had a kid, so he figured, he had fatherhood comes first, which is smart.
Right. He ever consider coming out here and working with you?
I think he is, but I think probably after this fight.
All right. Yeah. So when's his next fight?
October 11th.
All right. The next thing before we talked yesterday about you training because you have the fight coming up in November here. We talked about peaking a little yesterday, and I thought it was a little interesting the way you work it. You always hear about the fighters peaking too early or whatever when they have fights canceled and that kind of thing. Your take on training, how does that go? I mean, you don't, you kind of train year long. You don't let your body really get out of shape, or how does your training regimen go?
I train all year round. But the thing is that if I'm not fighting, I'm working on skills. And when I'm working on skills, I might get a little conditioning, but I just get enough conditioning to where if they call me to take a fight on short notice, or I have to step in, I won't get hurt training hard. You know what I'm saying? So I'm always battle ready. I'm not in tip-top shape, but I'm in decent enough shape to where, hey, 2 weeks of hard training, I'm in shape. 1 week of hard training, I'm in shape. I'm ready.
So you think that's better for you overall as far as, because you don't get...
Yeah, because I'm working on skills. I'm not there trying to kill you. I'm working on skills and ways to improve.
What's the longest you've ever taken off? Not ever take a week off?
Well, it depends. Probably when I had a staph infection.
Oh, yeah, obviously that. But when you're actually in shape, do you ever...
I'm always doing something. After my last fight, I came back in, hit miss, and sparred with Andreas Spain. You know what I'm saying? So, not Andreas Spain. I sparred with I don't know who I sparred. Not Andreas. I sparred with somebody.
So before this, you did.
It was Andreas. I sparred with Andreas.
So before this, you did a little. The fight was announced for November. You went off real quick to Kentucky, did some wrestling stuff out there. How long were you out there for?
I was out there for a week and a half.
And how did that go? I mean, I know you keep kind of getting to go when you get a chance. I mean, is it one of those things where, when you're away for a while because you had been out in Kentucky for a while, so is it a thing that you kind of go back a little bit when you're not there all the time, or?
It's just like running ropes, but as far as chain wrestling, running ropes and wrestling psychology, when I'm there, I do good, but when I leave, I come back messed up. But, everything else, chain wrestling, I do that 3 times a week, 2-3 times a week with Kenny King when he's around. So I'm always working on tie-ups and chain wrestling and stuff like that. So I'm good.
Now Kenny King's been in here a little bit working out. How's that going?
I mean, he's liking it, man. I'm trying to give him a fight in Bellator, man. I'm trying to, we cross over to their world. Let's see them cross over to our world. And I think Kenny King, he got the talent to do it. He's very acrobatic, very athletic. He's composed, can kick, strong core. I think he can do it.
I want to carry on actually that a little bit when I'm talking about wrestling. I want to add on to that, but talk a little about Bellator here. First of all, just to get this part out of the way, the stuff with Bellator, it got the whole mess going on right now. Attila Vegh did an interview, said he was healthy, but he was told to stand aside where you and Mo had the fight. Bellator kind of did the response that they put out a thing saying on April 15th he was hurt and he was going to be out a couple months. What did you know about the fight and his health?
I don't know nothing about him. I heard that he was hurt. But I don't care. I don't know him. He's not my boy, so why should I check up on him? I just heard that he's hurt, and then they told him to fight Mal Newton, and he was hurt or something like that. So that's all I know, and I didn't care. I figured that either he was still hurt or something. I don't know. I just know this. I heard he was asked to fight Mal Newton. He was hurt. All of a sudden, the pay-per-view pops up, and now he's fresh.
So you think that? And you said you don't know, so you you're not saying you know, but so you think there's maybe then all of a sudden he's saying help because it was a different, oh, here's a pay-per-view.
Pay-per-view, I think so, yeah. I think, yeah, who wouldn't? You know what I'm saying? I would. He might still be hurt. Who knows? But I know this. If there's a pay-per-view date and they offer you to fight on there, why pass it up? Right. He might still be hurt. Who knows? I don't know him. Never met him before. I know. He's probably pretty cool. But things I don't know. You know what I'm saying? So, I heard he was hurt. The Man Newton fight fell through. He was hurt. Me and Man fighting. Pay-per-view pops up. Now he's fresh. You know what I'm saying? So, you tell me.
So what were you told by when did Bellator tell you were getting this fight with Emmanuel Newton, and how exactly did they approach you with it?
Well, I was told pretty much on Twitter. You know what I'm saying? Because people like, yeah, he should fight Mo. People like, yeah, he should fight on the pay-per-view. And I was, I'm down to fight on the pay-per-view. You know what I'm saying? And all of a sudden, like, well, we're gonna make that fight happen. And it was on Twitter. But like this, I heard he was hurt going into my fight with Jacob No. And I was like, look, man, I'll fight Newton again. Then I'll fight Vegh. You know what I'm saying? I'll fight them both in one day. You know what I'm saying? Kick both their ass. You know what I'm saying? So to me, it makes no difference.
Who do you think is the tougher for you out of the two of them?
I'm not worried about either one of them. I ain't worried about none of them.
Though I'll give you a chance to rag on me a little bit because I know you love when I talk about message boards, but one thing a lot of people talked about was the tournament, the 4-man tournaments, the summer tournaments were kind of, they say created, after your loss to Newton was kind of created to give you a shot to fast track you. Your thoughts on that? Do you believe they were created specifically for you?
It was like this. They were created for me. I guess they were created for me. Then who else they were created for? The heavyweight? They were, I think we were 2 or 3 4-man tournaments. So I guess they made all 3 of those tournaments for me, huh? Because I guess I fight in all 3 weight classes. Hey, that's a great idea. Make 3 4-man tournaments, and put Mo in off. That's great because I get paid extra.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? People they always come with conspiracy theories about because they're on the message boards. They have nothing else to do.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And they're on the message boards, come up with these conspiracy theories about this and about that. The summer tournaments, it happened. I think it was smart for me to do it. You know what I'm saying? Even if I wasn't in it, it's smart to do because that summer period that Bellator takes a hiatus, the Bellator stays irrelevant.
Right.
Why not have fights? Why not have a tournament? Keep it going. Have tournaments all year round so we get pumped fights all year round. What's wrong with that?
Now you have this fight coming up with Newton, your rematch here. I asked you this before. I said, do you have pressure going in this fight? But you lost the first fight with Newton. Fluke or not, it's one thing you lose. And I think most people consider it, a fluke loss, and you're going to be a favorite going in here. But is this, you said no pressure, but you lose once, it can be a fluke. You lose twice, it's a pattern. So you don't feel more pressure on this fight going in?
For what? It's a fight. People act like the fighting is like, it's hard paying the bills. It's hard going to work. It's hard, like being a parent's hard. You know what I'm saying? Like fighting is nothing. People make a big deal about fighting. There's a lot of other jobs, a lot of other things that are a lot harder in life than fighting. So to me, it's a sport. It's not my life. It's a sport. Where's the pressure? I get paid to show up. Where's the pressure?
Right. Now, does a win here? Does that kind of erase the? Well, I mean, I guess it's kind of an irrelevant question because you. But does the win here, dominant win, does that kind of erase the sting of the first loss?
No, I don't care about first losses. That means nothing. Dog, I've lost before. I beat him. Okay, I keep moving forward. I'm not gonna dwell on what happened back in February.
Right. Now, if you do win this fight, when you beat Jacob Noah, you had a little bit of heat going in that fight. You said afterwards it was all cool, it was all buried. So you win this fight, it's all gonna be buried. Maybe you join a mosh pit with him somewhere.
Never join a mosh pit. I'm black. You know what I'm saying? We don't mosh pit. He does. He's a black skinhead.
All right. Do you think the win that he had over you, do you think that gave him a kind of an inflated sense of self-confidence, and maybe that he'll be, a little overconfident going in the fight with you?
No, I don't know. I think anytime you win, you gain confidence. And so even when you lose, even in a loss, I gain confidence because I know the mistakes that I've made. They'll eventually come with me later. So now I have a chance to correct them. I made one mistake in the fight. People ask me, "What'd you learn from the fight?" Nothing, because I knew what mistakes I made while I was out there. I knew what mistake I made, and I tell you, I was loading up too much. That's all. People like, your hands down. No, I was loading up. Before the sequence happened, my hands were up. But the people, they don't know nothing. All they hear is Mo fights his hands down. Yeah, my hands are down when I'm away from me, but you can't touch me. Newton didn't hit me when my hands were down. He hit me as I was loading up and tried to bring my hands to my face.
that piss you off that people keep saying that? You know,
No, because
questioning
the people
your-
don't know nothing. They don't know anything about fighting. They just watch MMA or UFC or whatever. They watch that. They don't know nothing about fighting. If you ask them about boxing matches or kickboxing or wrestling, they can't tell you a damn thing about it. They can tell you what Jimmy Smith or what's his name, Jimmy Smith or what Joe Rogan tell you. So I can tell you. They can tell you what the commentators tell you. That's it.
How do you think that? I'm sure he might do it just for the hell of it. He might throw a spinning back fist, but obviously he doesn't think he's going to win like that the second time. So how do you think that Newton's going to think he can beat you?
I don't know. I don't care.
Don't think he has a specific advantage in his mind anywhere?
I don't know. Every fighter thinks they have an advantage going into a fight. It's just that I don't care the way he thinks it is. I don't care.
Now you fought some pretty talented guys. You fought Musasi, you fought Vegh, you fought. Where does he rank in your opinion as far as the guys you faced before?
I don't know. I really don't, because the thing is, like, every fight's a different fight. You can't. I don't really rank fighters. You know what I'm saying? I just kind of fight. I like the rankings for the message boards. So message boards and for the websites. Rankings don't mean shit to me.
Do you think that perhaps Bellator, they brought in Tito and they brought in Rampage and all that. Do you think the first loss, even though you've rebounded nicely, had those two dominant wins, do you think that maybe the loss maybe gave them a little bit, they lost a little faith in you at all, or?
I don't know. I don't care.
Or do you think like that was more planned to bring them in all along? I mean, do you think?
I don't know. You know what I'm saying? I the thing is, like, I don't worry about fighting. I don't know about what happens in the back room. I don't go on the conspiracy theories for the people in the message boards. I don't, because the thing is, you never know what's gonna happen. Right now, Bjorn could be talking to some guy that we never heard of from Madagascar. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. I don't care. You know what I'm saying? All I do is I fight whoever's in front of me.
What do you think about this pay-per-view? Do you think it was a good idea? Because Bellator was kind of founded on these tournaments here and TV and Spike TV, that kind of thing. So now all of a sudden they're jumping to the pay-per-view, which is a really risky, thing. Do you think it was a good idea?
Why not? You have pay-per-view. Why not?
And then what about the main event? You have Rampage and you have Tito. Two guys that obviously some of the bigger names in the history of the sport, but last couple of years haven't been maybe at the top of the sport. How do you think about them headlining a card?
That's cool. I think people make a big deal about them not being top of the game, because there's a lot of fighters that have headlined pay-per-views that aren't at the top of the sport. You know what I'm saying? I think people that bring that shit up is fucking ridiculous. They're stupid, because the thing is that they have other guys headline pay-per-views in other organizations, and they'll buy it and they won't question it. To me, that's why I don't worry about it, because all those people do is speculate, sit around the message boards, and type. I don't have time for that shit. I got a life. You know what I'm saying? I got time for this shit.
What about not being part of a main event? I mean, obviously you and Newton, that should be a main event in most cards, but you're you got Chandler and Alvarez above you, and then of course main event Tito, Rampage. Any thoughts? I know you pretty much don't care as long as you're getting paid, right? Doesn't matter what your name is.
Don't care as long as I'm getting paid and I'm fighting. You know what I'm saying? It don't matter to me. People make a big deal about it. I don't care, because I'm fighting. 5 rounds. Fighting.
What do you think about Tito and Rampage coming in? Do you think that's a good thing for Bellator? That's a good move to bring in names like that?
I think it's always good to get people. Anybody, new talent's always good.
And then switching over to the wrestling aspect of it, what do you think about the way they've been used? Obviously you got 2 of them there, one in Aces and Eights and one in Main Event Mafia. How do you think that's going? How do you think they're being used in TNA?
I think it's going pretty good. Granted, they're both limited, but Rampage did a spot the other day. I thought it was good. He cut a promo. That was pretty good. Tito cuts good promos. I like it. I think they're using them both well. Now, granted, they can't wrestle. But me, I want to go out there. If I'm going out there, I want to go out there and wrestle. That's why I'm going to wrestling school.
Was that kind of something they did? They gave you guys a choice to do, and you elected to do more school, and they elected to go right into it, or is that something they kind of just told you what you're doing, or how did that work?
I don't know. I just said, hey, I want to wrestle. I can make appearances, but what the hell? You can only do so much in appearances. I want to wrestle. I want to entertain. I want to have fun. You know what I'm saying? So I just gotta wait.
Right. So they've been cool with you as far as
so far. I would so far I gotta prove myself. I've been going to OVW. After this next fight, I'm gonna go to OVW probably till January. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna go out there and I'm gonna pump out match after match after match, so I'll be TV ready, because I want to be out there wrestling for the fans.
Any trouble with the, kind of the blurring, back to the message boards, with the lines being blurred? A lot of people are worried about, of course they've been doing it in Japan for years, but all of a sudden this is a problem, and people are worried about, fake thing carrying over, and is Bellator going to start fixing fights like TNA, that kind of stuff. So I'm
not going to answer that question, because people, first of all, Bellator's in the cage, TNA's in the ring. You know, it's pro wrestling. You can't tag a partner in. You know what I'm saying? They're idiots. You know, people people just want to hate. They want to come with these conspiracy theories. They weren't hating on Pride when Pride was doing it. A lot of them Japanese fighters are pro wrestlers. Alberto Del Rio fight. The Dos Carlos Jr. Fight Crow Cop. Let me guess, that fight was fixed too, huh? Because Crow Cop kicked him right in the face. But you know what? Alberto Del Rio took a dive just because, you know, he wanted to fix the fight.
Well, yeah, it seems like the guys that did the Japan, you know, Barnett and those kind of guys are all okay, but anyone did WWE or TNAs or whatever, Brock Lesnar, when he came, he never had a chance.
Yeah, they fixed it. It doesn't matter though, because as long as you're getting paid, you can't. The people in the message boards are a small group of people, a small minority group of people. Them people don't really matter. They're on the message boards. If their voice is so much, they'd be actually hitting Bjorn and Lorenzo Fertitta and them up. But they're on the message boards. They don't matter.
How has the wrestlers taken to, you know, you go in there, are they gravitating towards and, hey, you know, kind of trying to learn a little bit from you as much as you learn from them, or is it kind of like they see you maybe as a guy coming in and steal their spot, especially, you know, you got 3 MMA guys now, Tito, Rampage, and yourself. How has the guys in wrestling taken to you? They've
all been cool. You know, you've seen AJ Styles in the Cap Slicer. They're all doing, like, you know, they're all pretty much, you know, they're all MMA fans, and there's no beef because those guys have been putting in work, and how am I gonna take their spot? Yeah. AJ Styles and Austin Aries and those guys, Kazarian, those boys, you know, Bad Influence, you know, Bobby Roode, Samoa Joe. There's no way I'm taking their spot. They've been putting in work for years. Is there anybody in particular that's really said, you know, wanted you to show them stuff and kind of hitting you up to learn stuff? No, it's only OVW, and me and Kenny King work, but we kind of bounce ideas off each other. I don't show them nothing. We just bounce ideas off each other, and we kind of like flow and like, hey, try this right here, you know, how you like this? Okay, tweak this arm, pull the arm back, keep it bent. We do stuff like that, you know, technique. Now you said before that wrestling is harder than MMA as far as the toll it takes in the body, but what about learning them? Is it, you know, harder because MMA is instinct. Pro wrestling is not really. You're going against your natural. Yeah, and you're playing. It's punishment in your body. You're punishing your body to entertain the masses. Let's just wrap this up. I want to ask you. You know, I know you're an old school wrestling fan, so just a couple questions from old school wrestling. Just who are some of your favorite stables, Grant? I know you're a Four Horsemen fan, but just who are some of the other stables that you like? The Varsity Club. Definitely the Four Horsemen. Which version? Mongo McMichael. Well, but you know what? Really, out of the Four Horsemen, it was mainly Ric Flair and Anderson. Yeah. Whoever else was in there, it didn't matter to me. I like Nation of Domination. All right, I was going to ask you which one, a Nation of Domination or Las Boricuas, or DOA. I like that. The 3 of those. Yeah, I like the Nation of Domination. Yeah. The Boricuas were pretty funny too, though. Yeah. DOA, it was a good storyline between the 3. All right, so I'm gonna give you a couple, one or the other. Pick one or the other, and tell me. You can add in if you want. Rock and Roll Express or Midnight Express. Midnight Express. Yeah. Why? Any reason why? No, I just remember. I remember watching wrestle. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Rick Rude or Jake Roberts? Because they had a little feud, you know, when Rude was trying to hit up Jake's wife. I know. Ravish Rick Rude. Yeah, Rude. Airbrush pants, I always do it. Mr. Perfect or Bret Hart? Mr. Perfect. Yeah, my favorite wrestler. Ahmed Johnson or Vader? That's a tough one. Draw. Draw, because I like both Vader and Ahmed Johnson. The Pearl River Plunge was a beast. What'd you think of Vader and kind of misuse him in WWE though, or WWF, I guess at the time? I think he's better. I think he got used better in Japan overall, but he was so athletic for a big man. He's athletic. JYD or Coco Beware? JYD. This is what I don't know if you're a little younger, so you might not remember when he was Hacksaw, but Hacksaw Butch Reed or Hacksaw Jim Duggan? Might be a little bit early for it. I don't know, it's a little early. Let's go with Jim Duggan. Yeah. You know who Reed was, right? He was a natural. He was a natural Butch Reed when he was in WWF. Right. And then the last one, as far as those go, the Gobbledygooker or Shockmaster? Oh my goodness. Eliminate both of them. All right, just a couple more. You should throw Glacier in there. Yeah, Glacier. Well, no, Glacier or what was it when RoboCop came in? Remember he pulled? Yeah, but RoboCop was actually he actually got some pop. Glacier. He got pop. You know what I'm saying? Glacier, everybody was like, is he a great MMA fighter, right? Is this Sub-Zero? All right, best announcer of all time. I don't know. That's a tough one. I don't know. you say best referee, I go with Patrick.
Yeah,
Patrick. Yeah.
All right. Who cut the best? You're probably gonna say Flair, that's your boy, but best promo.
Ric Flair, Dusty Rhodes.
Yeah, is that if you could cut promos, that's who you'd want to be?
Yeah, Ric Flair, Dusty Rhodes, or Arn Anderson. I like Arn Anderson too.
All right, and then just real quick, who was the best heel and who was the best face that you ever, as far as just who embodied those roles the best?
The best face. Best face had been Hulk Hogan.
In the first original run.
And the best heel had been Hulk Hogan.
When he NWO.
Yeah, even though like Ric Flair, it's like, because the thing is like, Ric Flair, like, you know, he was great at being a heel, but Hulk Hogan, like when he turned heel, you didn't expect it.
Right.
You didn't expect it. No one did. The black beard, everything, though.
Yeah, and then so we're done there. Last thing, just as far as your interest, the pay-per-view, are we gonna bust out some old school King Mo entrance? Gonna have the girls? We're gonna bust that back out?
We'll see, man. I got to talk to Bellator, see what's up with that. You know, more than anything, I just want to go out there and have fun, get this belt, and then see where we go from there.
All right, look forward to it, Mo. Appreciate it.
All right, cool.